boy, the assemblies are really starting to take shape. Our government is really starting to take shape.
Oh, I know it is. And it's wonderful. We have a few little renegade, weird holdout groups out there that still don't get it, still don't understand what we're doing or why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And we've got this one group in Oregon that is billing itself as the statewide Oregon Rural Assembly.
Right.
And I have tried and tried and tried to get it through their heads that, a General Assembly is just part of a state assembly.
Right.
And they want an Article 3 court so that they have a court that will address their issues.
Well,
and I understand that.
Yeah.
But the only problem is that an Article 3 court, by definition, is a court created under the Constitution for the federal government. And it just so happens that the court system that's missing is missing because the federal republic is missing.
Yeah.
And so the only way to get there from here is via the route that I just sketched out this evening, with the states creating the state of state for their state, that state of state organization being part of the Confederation booting up the states of America to run the federal republic.
Right. Well, and the assembly that you're talking about are still U.S. citizens too, correct?
Some of them are, some of them aren't. It's a mixed bag group, it's my understanding. But, until people get it fixed in their head that they need to declare their political status as Americans, or they don't have any constitutional rights or guarantees, and then they need to join their assembly in order to enforce those constitutional rights and guarantees. And then their state assembly has to take action to reconstruct the American side of the government. Once they see that there's a process and there's work to be done and there's a step by step by step by step and we're doing it, well, then maybe it'll make more sense to them. But we still have some of those holdout groups out there that are off trying to do their own thing. And, I worry about them. I worry about them getting in trouble. I worry about them being, what happened with the Colorado 9.
I know. And we notice people that we run across like that, people who have done a ton of work and they've, got these manuals that are put together, but they're functioning as U.S. citizens in state of state assemblies, and they could be arrested for insurrection. And so we put it on the table and tell them that every single time.
Well, right. And as I explained recently, there are just different kinds of assemblies.
Yeah.
And if you are a territorial U.S. citizen with a capital C and a U.S. capital C citizen, then you belong in a district assembly. And district assemblies are easy to identify because they are organized according to districts, just like the District of Columbia. Well, it's the district government, right? Okay, so you have, Assembly District 4 and Assembly District 1. Those are district assemblies, all right? So if you want to be a British territorial citizen and sign up and salute the Queen and work as a British merchant mariner warrant officer and be a taxpayer and, follow the King's law, fine, you're allowed to. God bless you. Go away. Go join your district assembly. Make trouble for them. Don't bother us. You're no longer an American. You've entered British territory, and the line forms stage left. Go 3 blocks, then 4 blocks, and it's right on the corner. Give them directions. Help them find their way to their proper assembly. Right. And the same thing with the municipal assemblies. Oh, well, you want to be allied with the Pope and with all of that implies. And okay, well, that's your choice. The municipal assembly is that way, 10 blocks, 2 blocks north, and they are in the middle of the block with a big red banner over the street. You know, people are confused about
Yeah.
who they are and what they're doing and what their political status choices are and what those political status choices require of them.
Right.
And
Right.
unfortunately, it's up to us to explain it to not only Americans who are coming home and declaring themselves and joining their state assembly, but also to confused US citizens who don't know what it means to be a US citizen, don't know that there are 2 kinds of US citizens, and don't know that they have their own assemblies and as district assemblies.
Sure.
Ours are state assemblies, theirs are district assemblies.
Well,
so we have to help weed those people out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a similar challenge with the peacekeeping team as well, because we're going to have to educate and inform the corporate Leos, not only what our job is, but what their job is.
Right, because they don't have a clue. They're never told. So, yeah, it's a tremendous educational effort and outreach to the entire community.
Yeah.
And trying to get the US citizens to realize what their role is.
Right.
And, you know, get them to join their assemblies. Because there are a lot of US citizens who are alarmed about the direction this country has taken, and they want to do something. They want to correct from within. Okay. And so God bless them, go join your assembly.
Yeah, exactly.
Change it.
Yeah,
we're all
please.
100% behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're in the right church, but you're in the wrong pew, as my mother used to say, you know.
Yeah.
There are 3 different kinds of assemblies here. Step up and find out which one you want to be in and which one you actually have to belong to if you're employed by the feds. And, you know,
Yeah.
we can explain these things and we can help people find their way, and that's what we should do. But we should also be aware that they're wandering into our assemblies and they're causing trouble because they're making assumptions about us and what we're doing that pertain to their assemblies, their district assemblies, and how their district assemblies operate.
Exactly.
So best to get them to their right pew and us to stand in ours.
Yes, it's a lot easier for everyone.
Yes, and a lot less confusing.
Exactly. I mean, we want to stay in our lanes.
Yes, we want to stay in our lanes. We want to do our jobs. And, you know, they have, if you think about it, okay, you're an employee of a corporation that's going off the tracks. That's a scary place to be.
Yeah.
And you want to get involved in having a voice in what that corporation is doing. So the way to do that for them is to join their district assembly. The way for us to do the same thing at a different level in a different jurisdiction is to join the state assembly.
Yeah.
So what we're engaged in is a public government, and what they are engaged in is a private government. And if you think about it, I mean, imagine that you are employed by GM. Okay, so they have what? They have internal tribunals, right? And the purpose of these internal tribunals is to decide whether you as an employee did something against the personnel code, right? Same thing. Same thing with the district assemblies. Their job is related to their corporation and running their corporation and making sure that everybody is online with the duties and responsibilities and adhering to the contracts and blah, 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 blah.